What's going on, boys? No guys here. Welcome back to the rattiest team of the season, rank 1 meta tactics. You've probably seen the 5-4-1. You're probably thinking, what have I done? Have I gone against my own principles? This video I had to debate whether to upload this one. I mean, the 5-4-1 as it is, you know my opinion on that nonsense. You know my opinion on mechanic abusing, let alone this. But we're going to go through it. We've got the 5-4-1, the pro variation of this with a slight twist. We got the 4-2-3-1, the formation you need for every single team this season. We got the 3-4-2-1, but you could also use the 4-3-2-1 here as well. I'll explain that as well. So this would be the 3-4-1-2 or the 4-3-2-1. And then we then have the 4-2-2-2, the second pro variation, the pressing tactic, one when you're losing inside the game. Now, I need you to take, if you skip tactics normally, you cannot skip this video because you're gonna, if I was you, scroll down now and you're gonna see the comments of people be crying about script. Oh, nothing works. You have to listen to this one because if you don't, it's not gonna work. This is the one where you cannot just copy and paste. This tactic is used by all the pro players. The competitive scene, the pro scene, the top 3 players in the game use this. It's a disgraceful tactic. But you know what? It's got to come out eventually. And thankfully, not everyone watches Nil Guys. I'm not some guy with getting 1 million views on my videos. So thankfully, not the whole world is watching it. This formation is very defensive, but equally very attacking. You defend in a 5-4-1. I'm going to go through the tactics and I'll explain to you what we've done. Balance, 30 width. It's important. I'll explain attacking side in a second. The 5 back and the 4, they're very wide. There's no CDMs in this formation. You need to be more compact than you actually think. 30. A lot of the pro players, they move their players manually across to fill in those gaps. That's how they get away with it. Depth on 47. You don't want to be too low. Sinking too low would drop back either. When this formation attacks, you have that counter-attack threat. But the issue is you have one striker. And the reason why pros are so good at it is because they use the wing areas to go. This is kind of like my 5-2-1-2 that I made in FIFA 19, which was when it was the best formation in the game at that point. The left back and right back going down the wing past the ball inside the box, easy sweat. You know what you see in the weekend league. This is the formation for it. But that's why equally when you're defending, you're just so rigid. 5-4-1. It's a kind of a disgrace how you're basically defending with 10 players. Like honestly, like I kind of feel disgusted even making this video. But it is what it is. Build up play now. Similar to, the tactics are very similar to pro. The only thing we changed here is long ball. I would suggest it still to most of you guys. Do not use slow build up play. You cannot use slow build up play with this formation. Don't even think about it. Unless you're closing a game out purely. Long ball, they make the runs going forward. A lot of pros use the L1 triggers. And then we got direct passing, 45 width and 7 players inside the box. Now, equally you can't with this formation. So if you are winning inside the game, you can change this formation and you can defend very well. If you cannot defend with this formation, you cannot defend anything. This is the most defensive formation. Yes, it lacks CDMs, but this is just about, if you're losing with this formation, I'm telling you right now, it's your gameplay. Either you're getting frustrated running out with your centre backs or you're making mistakes. You cannot concede, I would say, a non-BS goal with this formation, how compact it is, unless you get outplayed from your opponent. Now, the thing is, when you're attacking, you only have one striker. And this is why when everyone skips, this is why people are going to suffer. Pros are good at using one striker. The chances are you're probably not. When you use this formation, you're going to struggle with this formation. So we put one of the centre mids over here on get forward, get into the box for a cross. That way, when you're attacking, you have a player supplementing the middle, okay? So this is the middle column we're going to be talking about. The wing areas where this formation gets cracked because Ginola goes forward and then you have Roberto Carlos or the wing backs overlapping. So they're going forward. So basically you're attacking essentially with 6 players, I like to say. 6 players you're attacking with and you're defending with 9. That's basically the way this formation works. So both ends of the spectrum is very, very good, both attacking and defensively. We've got to get into the box, cover center and get forward. Do not put free roam on this. You need this player to go centrally going forward. Both the left mid and right mid on comeback and defense. Cut inside is important because when these players go on the outside, you want to push those players internally to be like kind of inverted players or like left forward and right forward. That's kind of ideally what you want. Get into the box for cross. Pros don't use this. Very, very important you use this because they trigger those players or they use a player lock down the wing. But trust me, it works better. Getting behind speaks for itself. That's what both the left mid and right mid. The other defensive player, the other CDM here, stay back, stand your box, cover center. That's the guy going to be staying back. Now, the back three, all on stay back while attacking. And I'll suggest copying this tactic while you do. So watch this video. If you're watching this on your train or whatever, and you're on the way to work, when you get home, watch this video and do it at the same time, because there's going to be a couple of things you might need to change. I would recommend stay back for both of these players and use the D-pad tactics attacking fullbacks. If you have no idea what I'm talking about in the last 20 seconds with D-pad tactics, leave them both on during the attack. If you don't, they're just going to sit there and camp. And this is what I'm saying to you. This formation is equally very good attacking and very good defensive. If you want this to be just purely, and this is going to be a long video now, if you want this to be purely the formation, just purely to close out the game, then what I'd recommend is putting this to balanced or slow build-up play. Then I'd recommend still balanced. Then what I would say is for closing out the game, you put the centre mid on stay back while attacking. So you got both of them on stay back while attacking. Left mid, right mid will come back in defence, and left back and right back stay back. Honestly, it's a very ratty tactic. The way you can do this is so for example, I'll put both mine on stay back while attacking. And then I would normally have a Vieira or my CDM. I would drop them into the middle. So my CDM will go in the center, or you can sub a centre back on, and then two left back, centre backs, right backs around them. And then for these players, you can get away with wingers. So you can use a Hakimi team there. You can use a Rabiot there. You can use a Ginola. You just need these players to be fast. But this is what makes OP. And that's why I said, look, the only thing the average player will struggle with is the lack of CDMs. Apart from that, it's a disgusting tactic. I'm not even condoning this, but I'll be doing myself a disservice by saying to not use this, because everyone else will be doing it. And you know what? I'm sick and tired. The entire community's been blaming me for years for fullbacks, for formations. I don't even care anymore at this point. But that is the formation to close out the game. Ultra defensive, ultra attacking. Should you start with the 5-4-1? No. This is to close the game out. It's not to start the game with. If you do want to get better at FIFA 23, I do have a FIFA School Series. But just before you skip ahead, what if I told you if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money? I can say that because I've been running my paid advanced in-depth FIFA School Series successfully for many years, and thousands of others have joined already and still stay on. This is for all levels of those that want to improve on FIFA, and you won't find these videos on my YouTube channel. These videos are a progressive systematic learning system that teaches you everything from the core mechanics of FIFA to the meta, so you can get better at FIFA as a whole, not just this game, with examples and explanations that go beyond the scope of YouTube videos. With new videos coming out every single week, these videos also adjust to recent updates and patches so you can stay up to date. So come join thousands of others in a mature audience community for those looking to get better. Patreon.com/nilguides, link is down below in the description. Now when you join, we already have a library of hundreds of videos that are specifically made for both new gen and old gen, with new videos in FIFA 23 getting added every single week. We also have an additional group coaching as well that we started this year due to high demand and high request. And don't forget guys, it's a money back guarantee, so if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is the Nil Guides guarantee. Anyway, link is down below in the description, patreon.com/nilguides. But anyway, back to the video. I would recommend to start the game with a 4-2-3-1. Yes, you can attack with this very, very well, and you can if you want. My suggestion is you attack with a 4-2-3-1. Now, if you, for my 4-2-3-1, I made a tactics a couple of days ago. In that video, I explained that was my defensive 4-2-3-1. So this is not the defensive. This is a very balanced 4-2-3-1, in my opinion, a balanced one. We got long ball, we got forward runs. This would be the formation you start the game with. Why? It's because you have a back four and you have two CDMs. In Team of the Season, not everyone is going to match you 5-4-1 for 5-4-1, especially in your earlier games when you're getting those wins, right? Like if you're on a 4-0 losing streak, for example, believe me, it's not the game. It's either your opponent is sweating or you're getting frustrated. I'm telling you from experience, right? So you don't want to go straight gung-ho to ultra defensive. Play stable, 5-2-3-1. That way, if you go up against a narrow 4-1-2-1-2 or 4-3-2-1, you've got those CDMs of cut passing lane. It's better to start with this one first. Balanced, 37 width, 45 depth, long ball, forward runs. This is my typical 4-2-3-1. In fact, it's very much changed ever so slightly when the game came out. No defensive style, balance on the ball. Again, this is the formation to start the game with, okay? Then we go over to the instructions. Now, the reason why I said this striker is very important is because this striker is isolated. In this 4-3-2-1, we have both the striker and the cam on stay forward. So for those that struggle to build up, so if you're sitting there and you're like, you know what, I struggle to build up, it's going to be more useful to start off with the 4-2-3-1. If you are Sweat and you just use the wing play, and you know what you do, you run down the wing. You know, I don't condone that nonsense, but you run down the wing and you literally wait for your opponent to come wide and you cut the ball back and you do a couple of passes, then you can use this formation. But that is why the 4-2-3-1, some of you may prefer it, and even I may prefer it, because you have that two strikers, it attacks in a 4-4-1-1. So these are tactics, just copy and paste these, nothing you to really change over here. Then striker is important, is stay central, get in behind and stay forward. You want your marksman striker there. The cam, not a KDB, you want a second striker here. So if you play a 4-4-2, think of this like a 4-4-2 with a striker. Think of this like a centre forward. Don't think of this like a cam. We got stay forward, get into the box for cross, and aggressive interceptions. Idea behind this is when you're sitting back defending, that cam will be a bit aggressive anyway and he will stay forward. They're both going to be ready for the counter attack. The Lamb and the Ram, they're both on comeback and defense. They're both on get into the box for a cross. Do not put free roam on this, because you need to put all the players on free roam then. You want your winger to be a winger, because people that normally have a slower play here. I would recommend top tier players, a Eusebio and a Pele would be a good example. Then you want the wingers here. These are wingers, guys. These are not cams. These are not central cams. These are actual wingers here. In a 4-2-3-1 in FIFA, these play like wingers. So you want fast players here. Both CDMs, we have them both on cut passing lane, step up attacking, cover center. In my opinion, do not use deep lying playmaker. I'll explain this when we go over to the 4-2-2-2. Then we have the back line. I don't know why that swapped there. I think I was explaining something, but we got stay back, left back, right back, stay back, conservative, overlap, even conservative in team of the season. That's just so you don't get jumped, because sometimes if your opponent does a 1-2 down the wing, sometimes the defender decides to step up when it's not the right time to do it, and you could get killed down the wing. Still, the wing area is the weakest position in the pitch. This is the most stable formation inside the game. People keep saying no pros in this. People are still using this formation, and I guarantee you they still are. Pros are still using this formation. The difference between pro level, it's about abusing. There's no pros having fun playing this game. It's abusing the game because it's their job. They don't abuse, they don't get a salary, and that's it. So you need to understand there's a difference between playing normally and playing to just abuse the game. They don't play good football, they play to win. Then we have here the attacking formation. Now you have two choices. You could either use my 4-3-2-1. I made a video on that yesterday. It's already an 11-minute video. I don't want to make this any longer than it is. But this formation, you can use a 3-4-1-2 or you can use a 4-3-2-1. The majority of you will prefer the 4-3-2-1. Just slot that in over there. But we have the 3-4-1-2. Now, I think when I made this formation, a lot of people struggled with it because it was way too attacking. So a lot of people just struggled with it. They couldn't play with it. So we're going to make some change. I'm going to explain to you the change we're going to do. We're going to put this on balanced. I would recommend pressure on heavy touch still, but we're going to leave it on balanced. 38, 58, balanced direct passing. The width on 20. It works out better that way. 8 players inside the box. Now this is the formation to be attacking, or the 4-3-2-1 here. Then what we're going to do here is that we're going to get rid of this defending in the back 4 system. So if you want to defend if you want to defend this in like a 4-4-2 or a back 4 system, just literally pause the video and just copy and paste these tactics. That is if you want to defend in a back 4. This formation will be the attacking formation. This will be if you want to apply pressure, you are losing inside the game and you got to be more attacking. Hence the 2 strikers and the cam, and of course the center mid. So this would be the formation to be using if you need to get that goal, but you're not losing 3-0. It's not desperation, but you're losing 1-0 and maybe you can't break down with the 5-4-1 because the wing play, so this is the formation for the wing play, it's not working for you. So you don't need to use this. If you can't go down centrally with a 4-2-3 and you need 2 strikers, a lot of people will need 2 strikers, then you go to this formation. So you can use here the 4-3-2-1. Now, the way that I will do it is, and this is literally copy this, stay central, get it by and stay forward, get into the box for a cross, both center mids on stay back while attacking. You can still put, if you want to, one of them on get forward, but both of them on stay back. So you're going to have your 3 players and your 2. So it's similar to the 4-3-2-1. 4-3-2-1, you kind of have a striker here, here, and here. I explained, make sure you watch that video. I'm not going to go over it again, but the L1 trick, that's how pros break defenses. And that's why they still use the 4-3-2-1 or this 3-4-2-1 variation. Stay forward, get in behind, stay central. Cam, stay forward. You still got the 3 players up front. Both on stay back. Left mid, right mid, come back in the fence and get it behind for both of them. So this way, you're still going to defend in that back 5 system. So it's going to be like a 5-2-1-2. That's where you're going to defend. You're going to defend in the back 5, and then you're going to attack with a kind of 4-man midfield, 1 striker, so 2 strikers and 1 cam. If you want, you can use this. And this is why this video's gone long, because I need to give you the alternate variations. You can use the 3-4-1-2 here. That's option number 1. You can use the 3-5-2 here. The 3-4-2-1 is very similar to the 4-3-2-1. If you don't mind defending in the back 3, a lot of you guys are going to struggle with the 3-4-2-1, as I probably realized from that video. As I said in that video, then you can just use my 4-3-2-1 for yesterday. But you can use it either here, a 3-4-1-2, a 3-5-2, a 3-4-2-1, or you can use a 4-3-2-1. Either one of those formations, you can literally copy the exact. I tried the exact tactics. It works for all of them. So you can try the exact tactics. These tactics are a bit unique because they're for all those formations. And the width on 20, don't worry, because most of those formations are wide. They're only the 4-3-2-1 video that I mentioned from yesterday. If you only copy those tactics exactly how it is. In fact, you know what? I'm going to insert that on the screen now. Those 4-3-2-1 tactics, should I say. Gets confusing, but yeah, you kind of understand the gist. Then we go to the ultra attacking, the comeback formation. Now, a lot of pros, you're seeing the text, and it's very favorable, the 4-2-2-2. A lot of pros still go back to this. We did have the 4-2-4 here, but we made some changes. And the reason we made those changes is because you don't want to go to constant pressure all the time. And most of you guys know how to do that now. You just have to literally press down the up on the D-pad, press left, or you literally just pause the game and go constant pressure, and you can do that. So this is going to be a pressing tactic. So let's say, for example, if you're 1-0 down inside the game, I'll come to tactics in a second. If you're 1-0 down inside the game, let's say you start the game and you go 1-0 down straight away. You can then stay on a 4. Don't just go to the attacking formation, because when you're 1-0 down, you go 2-0 down, then it's game over. Be passive. Then if you're losing, let's say 1-0, you're still losing, or it's 2-1 and they're struggling and your opponent is wasting time, then use the 4-2-2, okay? If you're the winger abuse and you want to be that compact, park the bus, right? 5-4-1. Then you have the attacking formation. So balanced, ultra defensive, attacking. Pretty self-explanatory. So this is the formation, which is a pressing. This is a very nice formation with AI. I'm not going to lie, it's kind of glitchy how AI assists you on this. You need to use this formation. The game's just going to press for you, man. You can't really mess it up. You know, as long as you stay, you don't run out with a centre back like a. Because some people, they run out with a centre back like a nutter and then make a massive hole in the back. That's when you'll make the mistakes. But this formation, AI does everything for you. 50 width, 60 depth. Key is high up the pitch, wide, not so wide where you're kind of breaking your line. Fast build up play, forward runs, 40 width, 6 or 7 players inside the box. I prefer 7. Now, this is basically a 4-4-2 now. Again, with this formation, similar to the 4-2-3-1, this is basically a 4-2-3-1, but the 2 strikers are like this now. You see that? Do you see? That's the 4-2-3-1. Have a look on the right-hand side there. See that? And then this is the 4-2-2. Have a look on the right-hand side. See that? It's just the 2 strikers are like this. You got center forward cam, 2 strikers. Okay? So we got stay central, stay forward for both of them. If you want, you can put get in behind. I personally don't, because I think it's more of when you're losing, people are going to be defending, and sometimes you want to play the person short because someone might be playing drop back. Especially when you win the ball back high up the pitch, you want a passing option. It might be the easiest way. But if you really want to, you can put the attacking player on getting behind. I'm not doing that, but if you want to, you can put the faster player there. Someone like Ginola, someone who's tall, and someone like Griezmann work very well together. Both 5-star or 5-star technically. And they work very well. The wide cams, both on a comeback and defense, get into the box or cross. You still want the comeback and defense because you want to still press together as a unit when you press your opponent, because you want all your players to be behind the ball when you press. You can't press with a striker in your cat, because people make this mistake. They put these players on stay forward, ultra attacking. But if your opponent is above Division 3, they're going to hold the ball in this area here. You're going to run out with your centre mid because your front four are stuck forward, and you're going to be stuck in the middle. And you're going to concede. That's how people go from losing 1-0 to losing 2-0. Capitulation, get stressed out, and then they end up losing the rest of their games. So both of these players, we have them both on comeback and offense. The CDMs now, cut passing lane, stay back, deep line playmaker for an attacking formation, I think works better. That is why in the 4-2-3-1, I was thinking about it very hard, and I was like, you know what? I've been experimenting with this. I think it's better to leave for a defensive formation these guys on default, especially when you lose the ball, because when you're attacking, these guys sometimes they occupy a bit of a weird position, and they're not naturally where you think your CDMs are. So when you use a 4-2-3-1, you know when you recycle, these guys are going to be there. But when you go to an attacking system, they're not always there. And when you're attacking, you want them to be kind of free roam almost. So this really does help. So we've got cut passing lane, step out attacking, cover center for one of them, and the other one is cut passing lanes, cover center, and to get forward. So one of them gets forward, attacks. If you want to, I'll explain that in a second. Stay back while attacking, left back, right back, stay back, and overlap. So that is the formation where, for example, you are losing 2-0, or let's say, for example, your opponent, you can feel that they're weak. Then maybe they've had a bad game last game, they lost 1-0 and they're frustrated. You see them running out with the centre backs, you see them making mistakes. You see them, for example, they're making these dodgy passes where they're facing away. That's how you know when someone's frustrated. There's probably a lot of games that you probably win that maybe your opponent is better than you, but because that opponent had a bad last game, or they're frustrated and never took a break, then they end up playing bad and they end up losing. That's probably the same way how even you lose games when you're better than your opponent. So this is the formation for that. If your opponent is wasting time or you're 2-0 down, this is the formation. What do you do if you're 3-0 down at 45 minutes and it's do or die? All you got to do literally is pause the game, put this to constant pressure, literally just like that, and then all you do is you add get forward on the other player. That's it. Simple as that. Just those two things, and then you have the ultra attacking, the 4-2-4 formation. So you have that stability. The only difference between this and the 4-2-4, these players, I find that Lamb and Rams are more attacking than a traditional left mid or right mid in a 4-4-2. Compared to left wings and right wings, they're a bit debatable, but the only difference really is going to be is these players are going to sit a bit deeper. So it might take them a bit longer to get forward, but that way you have that defense stability. So if you do lose the ball, you have those two options at the back. As we move on, team of the season, we'll go back to the 4-2-4. Because right now, to be honest, I'll give an example. What I'm doing right now, I'm literally selling this team up, and I'm literally going to buy, buy the community Tots. Some of them are going to be like 50k, and half the 50k players are going to be better than most of my players. But anyway, that is the meta. It's probably the most rattiest meta, rank 1 custom tactics and instructions. We'll update these as we go along. We'll have some other formations during the week. It's a bit of a long video, I know. It's 25 minutes almost. But the ones who stayed are the ones that are going to benefit. If you want to get better at FIFA, you can come to my FIFA School Series, patreon.com/NeilGuides, or you can click over here, or you can click the link down below in the description, patreon.com/NeilGuides. If you don't get better after 1 month, still offer, still there, I'll refund your money. That is how much and how sure we are that you'll get better. Don't get better, refund your money. Simple as that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Links down below in the description. Have a good weekend league. Best of luck on team in the seasons. And don't tell anyone you got these tactics from me. Peace out.